Welcome back to the cryptoworld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, a new Bitcoin pattern just confirmed in the short term, while Ethereum is getting extremely close to critical support, which I'll talk about later in the video, so make sure to watch to the end. First of all, just giving you a quick update on yesterday's Federal Reserve meeting, also known as an FOMC meeting. And of course, as expected, the Federal Reserve went with keeping interest rates the same as the outcome of the last meeting. And of course, as soon as that happened, I sent out a tweet over on Twitter. And as soon as that happened, not much really happened in the markets, because once again, this was the expected outcome. So it was relatively neutral in the market the moment this got released. But roughly around half an hour after the decision was made, of course, there was the usual Jerome Powell press conference where he talked about the Fed's plan moving forwards. And basically in that press conference, Jerome Powell talked about the possibility of interest rates staying higher for longer. So not necessarily a lot more hikes to go, but basically interest rate cuts being pushed out from where we were originally expecting, where the market was originally expecting. And in case you're new to this channel, looking at what the market is pricing in right now, first of all, the market was originally expecting rate cuts around mid-2024, and the market was actually pricing in multiple rate cuts, around 3 to 4 rate cuts towards the end of next year. But what the market is now pricing in is for the first rate cut to happen around July next year, so just after the middle of the year. And as of right now, the market is pricing in for only 2 25 basis point rate cuts happening next year instead of 3, 4, or even 5, which was originally the case that we saw before the latest Fed meeting. And if you watched my last video on the channel, you would know that higher interest rates are more bearish for markets in general, and lower interest rates are more bullish for markets in general. And so if the markets are having to price in interest rates basically staying higher for longer and having to price out some of those interest rate cuts that we were originally expecting next year, of course, that has resulted in some short-term bearish price action that we've seen across the crypto market and the stock market. So once again, that bearish price action that we've seen over the last one day is essentially the market's pricing in the changes in interest rates in the probabilities for future Fed meetings happening next year. Because as always, markets are forward-looking, so if any new information comes to light, then markets begin pricing that in right now, even though it might happen in a year from now. So once again, right now, markets are already pricing in for rates going higher for longer. And so essentially, if that now happens over the next 1 year or so, then that's relatively neutral because that is what the markets are now expecting and beginning to price in right now. But anyway, now getting into the Bitcoin part of this video, this is on the daily Bitcoin chart. And right now, as I'm recording this video, we can once again see a bit of short-term bearish price action that I just talked about. But at least for now, the price of Bitcoin is still holding above this important area of support, sitting in between 24.3K to 25.3K. And as for the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, first of all, the daily Bitcoin MACD is still showing relatively low momentum, but with that being said, it's still looking more bullish than bearish because we have not yet confirmed a new bearish cross. And something similar can be said about the daily Bitcoin RSI, because once again, at least for now, this is still technically trending back to the upside, and we have not yet seen a confirmed break back below this previous descending line of resistance. And so essentially, as of right now, this is still looking slightly more bullish than bearish. But of course, if we end up seeing a confirmed break back below this previous line of resistance, then that would be a bearish signal to look out for if that happens. So once again, just pay attention to that, but at least for now, it has not yet happened. And of course, as of right now on the daily Bitcoin chart, technically speaking, this daily bullish divergence is still currently active because we're still technically seeing these higher lows in the RSI, and obviously in the price, we have not yet broken below this low to help invalidate the bullish divergence. And so once again, this basically means we're still due to see a bit of a relief from that bearish trend on the daily time frame at the very least. So either choppy sideways price action, if not a bullish relief, which we've obviously seen over the last 1 week or so. But if you're zooming into the shorter term, looking at this little area on the chart right here, we can see a new bearish divergence just confirmed here on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, because obviously on this time frame right here, we have confirmed higher highs in the Bitcoin price in the 4-hour candle closes, while also confirming lower highs in the 4-hour Bitcoin RSI, also from overbought territories. And so basically what this means is just in the imminent shorter term here on the 4-hour time frame, we're due to see reduced bullish momentum, because once again, over the last 1 week, we have seen a gain in some bullish momentum. As we can see here on the 4-hour chart, it looks more like a bullish trend on the 4-hour time frame. And so essentially right now we're taking a pause or setback from that bullish trend here on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart due to this new bearish divergence now playing out. And now, considering the fact that this is only really visible on smaller time frames like the 4-hour chart and not exactly on the daily time frame, this technically means it should not play out as long as this bullish divergence here on the daily charts. And so basically we should expect a bit of bearish price action or neutral price action in the imminent short term, talking about potentially the next couple of days as a pause from this bullish trend on the 4-hour time frame. And as for short-term support and resistance, looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool also on the 4-hour Bitcoin chart, right now as I'm recording this video, the price of Bitcoin is running into the 38.2% Fibonacci level of support, sitting at around 26.4k to 26.5k. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break below that level, then in that case we have the 50% retracement level sitting at around 26.1k, and below that we have the important golden pocket area of support in between around 25.8k to 25.9k. So those are the levels of support in the shorter term that I'll be paying attention to. And as for resistance, in case we actually see a bounce from one of these levels, then in that case right now we have resistance at around 26.8 to 26.9k. And of course, as always, if we break below one of these levels of support, then this previous support could potentially become new resistance. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and previous support becoming new resistance is a perfect example right here, because once again, as I've been saying almost every day over the last 1 week or so, we have this major area of resistance sitting in between around 1620 to 1660. And this area of resistance is not only based on previous support, but also the volume profile indicator showing a lot of selling pressure, a lot of resistance around that area. Once again, 1620 to 1660. And obviously, so far, we are experiencing a rejection exactly from that area right there. And so once again, as I've mentioned recently on the channel, in order to actually flip more bullish again in terms of the trend, we would need to at least see a confirmed break above 1660 in order to become more confident in the bullish direction, because otherwise, at least for now, we're still trading below critical resistance and also still forming lower highs and lower lows once again, which is technically a trend in the more bearish direction. But just over the last 1 week or so, of course, we have seen a bit of a relief from that bearish trend, a bit of a pause from that bearish trend due to the price oscillators, because right now the daily Ethereum MACD is still showing relatively low momentum and is actually looking slightly more bullish than bearish because it has not yet confirmed a new bearish cross. And of course, the daily Ethereum RSI has been playing out a bullish divergence over the last 1 week, as I've been talking about since all the way back down here. And so once again, it's due to those signals that we've seen a bit of a relief or pause from that bearish trend here on the daily time frame. And as for support and resistance, looking at the Fibonacci retracement tool on the daily time frame, once again, we have this previous 38.2% Fibonacci level of support now acting as resistance, sitting at around 1640, which is where we saw an exact rejection. And as for support on the daily time frame, we have the 50% retracement level sitting at around 1510 to 1520, acting as support. And as for short-term support, looking at the 4-hour ETH to US dollar chart, right now, as I'm recording this video, the price of ETH is running into this golden pocket area of support, sitting in between around 1570 to 1580 approximately. But if we end up seeing a confirmed break below around 1570, then in that case, we have the 78.6% Fibonacci level of support sitting at around 1560. And below that level, we should expect some more support at around these lows, sitting at approximately 1530. So just above the 50% retracement level here on the daily time frame. And as for short-term resistance, we could expect a bit of short-term resistance at around 1.6k, around 1615, and around 1635. But either way, if you want to know how to make a lot of money in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is bullish or bearish, like right now, and the video in the bottom left shows you how you can easily profit from choppy sideways price action. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.